Welcome to Mind Over Matter, where we feature young Jamaicans who are shooting for the stars. I'm your host, Margaret Boyne. Starting a business in the best of times can be daunting, but doing so during a global crisis requires a special kind of courage and vision. And so it's my pleasure to introduce our guest today, a young and inspiring entrepreneur who started a shipping courier company called Shipping Guru Courier during the pandemic. The success of her first venture inspired her to start another business recently in the auto parts industry. We'll hear more about her journey, how she navigated the complexities of the shipping industry, and the valuable lessons she has learned along the way. My guest is Akayla Bartley. Welcome to Mind Over Matter, Akayla.
Thank you, Mrs. Wayne. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to hearing about your entrepreneurial success story. So tell me a little about your background.
All right, so I'm from Old Harbor Bay. I grew up in a very big family. My grandfather was a fisherman and my grandma worked alongside him. So probably that's where the love for the entire shipping industry came from. I went to Denver High School from 2012 to 2017. And then when I graduated in 2017, I went directly to CMU.
So tell me a little about CMU, man.
Well, CMU was an experience. It was a good one. I can't complain. I met a lot of wonderful persons there. Persons that today have become, my colleagues within the shipping industry. They have become my friends. They have contributed a whole lot to who I am today. In regards to, they were always pushing me. My friends were, a big part of the student union. And then I was a president at a club at CMU as well. So that had, it had its perks. Mm-hmm. Because I can remember we did a lot of stuff at CMU. We did the breast cancer awareness campaign. We did a lot of beach cleanups. We donated to the Bustamante Children's Hospital. So I must say CMU was a big part of me.
Mm-hmm. So was that you started a shipping company, Shipping Courier company, right, in 2020?
2021.
21.
Right.
Okay, so tell me what was the idea behind that? Why a courier?
Well,
because it was during a pandemic too.
Right, it was. So the courier wasn't exactly my main plan at that point in time.
Oh.
What I had planned was I had started to apply to schools overseas because I was just exiting CMU. So I was applying to schools overseas so that I could do my master's. Oh. My mommy was the one who was always, why you don't open a shipping company? Why you don't open a shipping company? So I said, okay, what I'm going to do, I am going to set the foundation. I'm going to make it easy as possible. So when I go to school overseas, you guys can run the company.
Yeah, okay. So you was hell-bent on going overseas.
I was hell-bent on doing my master's. I was hell-bent that, okay, you know what? I'm going to do school again. Yay, this isn't finished for me. So but life is funny, and I'm glad I took it. I'm glad that she was the one to motivate me, to push me. I'm so glad. And so when I started, it wasn't easy because, as you had said, it's during a pandemic. It's in December, and I started with sea shipments. Those seas the longest. December has the most delays. And the pandemic was
right.
The pandemic. So it was tough.
So what about funding to start the business? Where did that come from?
The funding was actually my master's tuition.
Oh.
Right. So the tuition from my master's, that was what funded the entire shipping business.
But the shipping industry is very competitive as well, because I'm seeing several courier companies just spring up all of a sudden.
Right. It is very competitive. But as I always tell, because I work alongside the warehouse as well, in which we in which I interact with a lot of couriers. And I'm out by the wharf, I'm out by the airport clearing shipment. So, I've met a lot of them. But what I always tell them is the industry is big and there's different aspects in the industry. So you can be known for the shipping company that deals with barrels. You can be known for the shipping company that deals with returning residents. There's so much aspect to the business. I, on the other hand, I deal with like the people from country.
Oh,
and this is right. This is first of us. There wasn't a lot of us here when I started.
Okay.
So, I do it right. So Shipping Guru, we pride ourselves in always informing our customers, because then they come in, they don't know how to shop online, they don't know a lot of stuff, they want to do it, they have family overseas that want to send down stuff, but they just don't understand the process. So what we do now, we arm ourselves with the information so that we can, and then we purchase for people online as well, because a lot of them don't have cards and so on. So what we do when we arm ourselves with the information, then we know how to communicate with them properly. We know how to deal with them. We know how to, cater to their needs. And that's what sets me at Shipping Guru apart from the competition.
So you were able to fill that void in St. Thomas.
Right. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because when I just started, I didn't have a physical location. No, St. Thomas is rural Jamaica country. So there's a lot of hills and valleys. And I remember when I started, we had to be doing deliveries, and we went to some places that I didn't know exist.
Right?
Right. Right. But it was good. It was good. And then now having a physical location, it makes me appreciate more that persons come from all these nooks and crannies for their packages without complaining, coming with their full money, paying, and then they're satisfied, they come again. So it makes me appreciate them more.
But walk us through, though, Akila, some of the process of starting your own business from scratch.
The key steps that I took. For one, it was planning. It was planning and researching, because going into a business that it was, I won't say it was secretive, but there was a lot of gatekeeping. So it was important that we did our research. And of course, doing a business, it's okay. So, trial and error. It's okay. It's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. And then when you get more experience, then you know how to correct those mistakes if they come again. But for one, it was planning and researching. Definitely plan and research when it comes to opening a business. Two, it was arming yourselves again with the information so that you can properly inform your customers, the clients. And then customer retention is a very good part of it. Marketing is a very big aspect. And because I had a love for marketing, I knew, right, because when I just left CMU, I had gotten a grant from NCB through iCreate.edu to do a course in social media marketing. So that's who had helped me, because social media played a big role.
So it was very prepared, man.
I was, in a sense, even though it was what I wanted to do exactly.
Yes. So what were some of the major challenges that you had, and how you overcome them?
So for one, as I was saying, it was the gatekeeping. So when you're starting, you don't know who to talk to, you don't know where to go. When you're in the industry, it's different, because then you know everybody who does consolidation, does the import-export of it. So that was one gatekeeping. It was a big issue. I didn't know who to start with. I didn't know which company. I didn't know which warehouse abroad. And so I had to do a lot of research. The other thing too was pricing, because as I said, the market is saturated. So I didn't want to be super expensive, but I didn't want to be cheap either.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, because I didn't want to be absorbing a lot of costs that the shipping industry comes with just to be competitive. But I had to set my pricing in a way in which I was competitive. However, what I did, I didn't focus on the the couriers in Kingston, in other places. I had focused on the ones in St. Thomas, which would have been my major competitors. And so, right. And so I had priced and then of course with the service. Because when you're bringing quality service, then you have to put that in as
yes.
well. The cost, right. And so that's how I developed my pricing list. Another one was age. So because I was so young,
and tell us how old are you?
I'm 23, and I started when I was 21.
And you started 2 years ago. Wow.
Right. So age was a big factor. I was young. I didn't know a lot at that time. I armed myself with the information. When I started, I got the experience to go on the wharf, to go to the airport, to meet a lot of people that, so being a female, being young, that definitely.
How much strikes against you?
Right. But it worked out for me. It was good.
But during the pandemic, though, Akayla, the shipping industry, in terms of there was some hitches with the global supply, the supply chain. Did that affect you?
There was.
And how you did that?
Right. When I started in 2021, it was a year after COVID.
Oh, so it was kind of coming back.
Right. So it would have been like the December when everything started back. So people were starting to ship barrels again for their family here. So it was different. The only thing that I faced though was, as I said, I started with sea shipments, and that's the slowest form right now in December when there was a lot of delays. So, there were ship delays and so on, but we had to just communicate with the customers, let them know that it's a pandemic. It's also in December, so they had understood.
What are the services that you offer? You can list them out if you want to.
Okay, so we are Courier. So when you sign up online, you get an address. You can ship from any store abroad and then send it to the address that you're provided. And then we clear your shipments. We do deliveries. You can come and pick up in office. We do barrel, crates, e-container, D-container. You pack your own stuff and send it. We also pack barrels overseas in our warehouse. So you can stay from Jamaica, pack your own barrel, and then we take care of all of that for you.
So how do you handle delays and keep your customers satisfied?
Right.
Because people make holy nice when them things can't reach,
Right. Right, that's true. But over time, I realized that communication is key. So when we communicate, as soon as I get the information, or the ship, something happened with the ship, something happened with the container, or the flight didn't leave, immediately I try to communicate, and I communicate via WhatsApp, I communicate via emails. I sometimes call the customers telling them that, hey, XYZ. If an event is happening overseas, in which like Florida the other day when it flooded out, then I make sure to post the news clippings, keep them up to date so that they know. Right. So communication is key.
Okay. And if running a courier service isn't enough, you started a new business, a auto parts business.
All right. So the auto parts business, it came into play when we had started a couple months after the Courier. So a lot of persons came in store to order auto parts. So I realized, like, hey, why not open an auto supplies variety store in St. Thomas along with, the Courier? Luckily, we got a space downstairs on the same building. So the Courier's upstairs, the auto parts downstairs. It was something as well. It was an experience to itself.
So what? So I didn't know anything about parts and them thing there?
I didn't. I must admit, I was one of those females that, jump in my car and just drive, just full up gas and just go. I I was one of them. I'm not going to lie. But when persons come in now and they're saying, "Oh, I want you to order a carburetor for me," or "I want you to order a door handle for me." So you have to take in all that information. What's the chassis number? What's the type of vehicle? What year? Which door handle on the right or left side? So then, and then because we do sourcing as well. So we had to just go online sourcing for them. I couldn't buy the wrong thing for them. So that was something. And then I had help because we have a family friend named Craig, and he's very versed. He's very versed in this area. So he was the one who came alongside us, and then he had helped me big time.
Mm-hmm. So you learned the parts and all of that.
The supplies, the different oils. Yeah, it took a time. It took and the customers helped me as well. Because when they come in here, you don't have any Shell 2050. At first I was like, okay, all right, which color bottle I get? Which color? And then they was like, and the yellow one or the white one. And I was like, okay. And then after time, I took the time to just, study them.
So how do you feel about being in this male-dominated field, basically? In the auto parts.
Right. I was never one to shy away from challenges. I was never one to shy away from the obstacles. As I said before, I was always a young one among my peers and a female one. So, I had to be much fiercer than usual. Luckily for me, I had the opportunity of meeting some great people. People who taught me a lot. And then I learned from them because going into the industry, you can't be like, I know it all in an industry where you know nothing. So I had to initiative. If I went into a supplier's office, for example, and I don't know exactly what the market wants or I don't know what's trending right now, then I ask them. I ask a lot of questions. I want them to teach me so that I can know how to meet the needs of the market then. So luckily for me, I had a lot of people who, they had actually come to my rescue in that area.
Oh boy. So you have two business now. Aren't you overworking yourself? Or you keep that balance?
At first I was. I'm not going to lie. At first I was to the point where I felt burnt out. Because I was especially when I was doing the deliveries for the shipping business. So even on my birthday, I had to be doing deliveries. I had to deal with the port stuff. I had to deal with communicating with the customers. And so I took the time to get my numbers in regards to the shipping business to a certain place where I could take on a staff. So I had to get the money up before I could take on other people. Yes. So that's what I did. I made sure to push out exactly when I wanted to the right amount of people, to the right group of people. And then from there, when I reached where I wanted to reach, I then took on staff. So when I took on staff, I had trained them properly. Then I delegated the work to them so then I could focus on other stuff. So that's where, and then with the auto parts store too, I had help. So Craig Thane again and my mom, they helped me. They definitely, they were the ones that, the pilot and so on. So I had help for that part.
Okay. So how many employees do you have?
I have 3 for Shipping Guru, and I employ my little sister. Right, so I employ my little sister. So that's 3 for Shipping Guru, and we have, me, myself, and Craig Thane. So me, mommy, my bad, and Craig Thane for the auto parts play.
Okay, what has been your most memorable moment as a young entrepreneur?
I think it was my first time going by the wharf to clear.
Oh.
It was my first time. It was hot. It was hot. It was so hot. And then we had to walk so much. Oh my God. So it was definitely the most memorable. And then I was in awe because it was things I learned about in school, but I didn't actually
see them. Mm-hmm.
Right. I was in the space. Mm-hmm. So it's different when you're learning the theory parts of it, but then you're there practically. So when we're there and then I'm hearing all the terms I read in the books and on the exam papers, and then you see the live action, and then you see that persons really find their way how to navigate through. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot to learn from. And I was excited, even though it was hot and I got miserable at the end of the day. I was excited. I was buzzing.
Mm. All right. So what should we expect from shipping guru Courier in the near future?
More locations.
Mm-hmm.
We're now tailoring something to appreciate our customers more, or to show appreciation to our customers more. Mm-hmm. So we're thinking of doing a birthday club in which when it's your birthday month, you get a special discount and so on. We're also trying to do a loyalty program in which the more you ship, the more you have points can use towards your next shipments and stuff like that. So definitely more appreciation to our customers or existing customers and our potential customers, and also more locations. We have now decided to do, well, alongside our warehouse, we have decided to do more flights coming in. So we're going to 3 times a week now, and then 1 time a week sea shipment. And we are also trying to do more of sea. So with sea shipment now, it's more commercial and bulk stuff. So we're trying now to, incorporate that all into our business in terms of you can, ship down a couch, refrigerator, appliances, and stuff like that, and feel comfortable. You won't feel like, your pocket them will burn you and the stress that you can't bother with the wow thing and the people. Right. So we have no, we're trying to push the C aspect of the business so that, persons can feel comfortable with selling stuff like that.
Boy, you have a lot of plans, Akayla, man. I really love it.
Thank you.
Can you share any lessons that you have learned that have helped you to be successful in your businesses?
Definitely. Trials and tribulation shows that triumph is near. Definitely one of the biggest lessons I've learned, because throughout the trials and the tribulations, then you know that, hey, triumph is right there. It is right there. Also, my mom, during Blair, she had also always instilled in me, always be confident, always go after what you want, always plan ahead, always welcome obstacles and changes. Because once you apply yourself, you apply the lessons you learned, you apply your knowledge, your expertise, then you can overcome all of the trials, tribulation, obstacles that may come your way.
Mm-hmm. Can you leave any message for, any young entrepreneur or anybody who wants to probably start a business?
Definitely. It's going to get hard. It is going to get hard because having your own business is not a 9-to-5, it's a 24/7. But when it gets hard, just know that, okay, you have an end goal. You must achieve this. Put your best foot forward at all times. Plan and research. Plan and research. I cannot stress that enough. When you plan and research and you get to where you want in the business, try to learn as much as you can from as much people as you can. And then you can apply those lessons that you have learned to your business as well. Because sometimes you don't necessarily have to go through a situation yourself, but somebody else might go through it and you can learn from them. Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to leave with them.
Mm-hmm. Where can people find you?
Right.
On
So you
social
can
media or your actual location?
Right, so you can find me at our location. So that's Northern Parkway Avenue, shop number 4, CMS Business Complex in Albion St. Thomas. And then our Auto Parts and Variety Store is shop number 1 on the same building. You can find us on Instagram at Shipping Guru JA and Auto Guru JA. You can also find us on Google. So it's Shipping Guru Courier.com.
Mm-hmm. It was lovely talking to you, Akayla.
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed this, and I just want to wish you all the best for your business. With all your plans that you have, I hope that they'll be successful.
Thank you.
You know, and I really admire what you're doing, man.
Thank you. And it was lovely being here. I must say, it was nice. It was quite lovely.